Hi everyone. Third time today. I hope to see a few of you 3 times in one day. How amazing. I've been filled with Jeff today. And it was so nice to see everyone this morning for the morning sessions. How are you finding them? As you guys know, I've been asking everyone to kind of say how many sessions, flow sessions are you planning for? And then every time you check in to say, I wanted to do 5. This is my second class out of 5 classes that are planned. So when you hop on, say hi, tag your coaches, let them know that you're getting your recovery work in. And then, of course, letting us know or letting me know how many sessions you've done. This week is inspired by Lisa, who requested some shoulder relaxing and tension releasing work. So everything is going to be quite around, the work's going to be quite centered around the shoulders. But like I always say, we try and get a full body stretch kind of throughout the whole practice. So yeah, this is a 30-minute session and welcome for joining. It is the beginners, so we move a little slower, chat a little bit more about foundations and alignment, and then just kind of gentle intros to some more breath work and breath cues. Who is here? Sindine, I'm back with you for the third time today. Yay! That is commitment and dedication and discipline, all the good things, right? All the new things. Um, Sandra, welcome. Michaela, Mo, welcome. Sindine had an early dinner. I'm going to do this class too. Oh, what a treat. What a treat. What a treat. We're going to move nice and slow tonight. And just really enjoy the practice. I feel like that was like quite a full Tuesday, a lot going on, and we still have a week ahead of us. So tonight, it's just going to be about relaxing a little bit, allowing our bodies to relax a bit, our mind to relax a bit, and just focus on getting our breath flowing through our body and just getting ourselves more into our healing and repair states. Hi, Sharon. My first flow with you, 6 p.m. is much easier for me. Yay! Fantastic. That's great news. We were hoping that would be the case. So welcome to these sessions, Sharon. I always mention almost like a little disclaimer for yourself that, it is a guided practice, but ultimately you are responsible for your own body. So a few guidelines for these sessions are not to overstretch. If something doesn't feel great, maybe skip it out. Take a break when you need to, and deep full breaths. um, Hi, Roz, welcome. I know a few of you were with me on the chat a little bit early on today. I hope that you enjoyed that. Let me know how your week has been. We've got another first session. Vanessa Lee De Silva, welcome. Guys, if you're completely new to the practice, I'd love for you to let me know. Obviously, if you've already got a practice, let me know too. But if you are a first timer to my sessions and to the Jeff Flow sessions, welcome, welcome. We like to do one flow for every HIT session, right? So these classes are around movement, mobility, recovery, giving our bodies that little bit of a break, right? So that they can keep up with all the hard work that we're asking them to do in the other parts of our lives. But these sessions are really, you're trying to get out of your head, you're trying to get out of that kind of do mindset. It's not about the calories, it's not about the kilograms, it's not about the kilometers. Put all of that aside. You've dealt with that for today, and now you can just allow yourself to completely relax and just indulge. All right, let's give it a few more minutes. We'll get started at 6 o'clock on the dot. Here, Mo, I've hurt my right rotator cuff. Any advice? All right, Mo. Well, I mean, just really see how it goes. I wouldn't really do a lot of weight bearing things. on an injury like that. So don't overstretch. I know a lot of the time, if you're feeling, for instance, I get quite a lot of spasms in the one side of my neck, and then it feels quite nice to almost lean into that pain sometimes, kind of stretch it. I would just not doing that, and not really not making it carry a lot of weight. And the moment you feel any kind of pain, I'd rather just stop and give it a rest. So injury like that, you don't really want to play around with, because it could be, you're just on the healing journey and you do one thing and it makes it worse, and it's going to make your recovery time longer. But sometimes with injury, it is nice to give it really smooth, really gentle movement, deep breaths, just to keep some movement in that area, and kind of keep the energy flowing there. So just see how you feel. But otherwise, maybe, I'm not sure. I think you are with one-on-one, Merle. Are you doing one-on-one? Maybe just to speak to your coach. And otherwise, if it continues, guys, any injury, if it continues, if it doesn't get better, you need to see a professional. So that's a doctor or a physio, someone like that, who has expertise in those areas. All right. But I'm sorry to hear that you have an injury. But injuries can be our best teachers. Vanessa, yes, Teresa, welcome. Marita, my first session. Oh, I love it. There's always so many first timers here. Nicole, Larish, welcome. Just what I need after burnout. Yes, we're going to relax tonight. Janine Poole, hi. Leon, hello, hello. We've got Coach Carey here. Bev, welcome. Hi, everyone. As you see on the prompt, you will need a pillow. I always suggest you have one pillow, two pillows, three pillows handy for these sessions. Usually we would use yoga props. So that is a yoga bolster or a yoga cushion. Obviously, not a lot of us have those ready at home. So you can just use any pillow. And you'll just see. You'll notice when you start to practice with it what works for you, if you'll need some extra padding or not. And you'll see now in the session how I use the cushion and why it is there to support us during our practice. Cool, guys. 2 more minutes before we start. Check in. Let us know that you're here. Mole says yes. Hydrotherapy, amazing, amazing, amazing. You really want to look after any kind of injury that you have, and you want to not take yourself backwards in the process of healing, right? So just giving your body whatever it needs to heal, to move forward from that. So take it easy, everyone. And yeah, I'm looking forward to another session again. Tomorrow I'll be back. Remember, I'm doing every morning 7 a.m., which is super exciting for me. I'm loving these morning sessions. And then again, an evening session, beginners next week. No, not next week. On Thursday, same time, 6 p.m. All right, everyone, almost time to start. Christmas in July is obviously still going strong. So you guys can just keep an eye out for any information around that on the page. Tomorrow is the 6th day of Christmas in July. Also tomorrow, quite exciting stuff happening. There's the Jeff Cook with Jono. And then Friday night is Jeff Cook with Coach Adrian. So lots of exciting things. I hope you guys are on your web app, busy logging in all the sessions that you're doing, busy making notes, busy looking at how you can make your weeks more beneficial for yourself on an individual level, right? So really doing what you need for your own vitality, and to really make the best out of each and every session and each and every opportunity that is on the platform. Hi, Marita, welcome. Guys, if you're joining in, Marley, welcome. Swipe in, let me know what number of sessions have you done this week yet. We are only on Tuesday, but I know there's a lot of people gunning to do 5 out of 5 this week. How amazing to treat your body to a recovery for every HIIT session. And then of course, tag your coaches, let them know you're here. And yeah, let's get started. So make sure that you have your cushion handy nearby, maybe even 2 or so. And then you'll bring yourself to sit on your mat. So you can sit facing the long side of your mat. I'm sitting on a cushion, so especially if you've got quite tight hips, you might even sit on 2 or 3 pillows and then just see what feels comfortable, how far away from the pelvis you'd like your ankles to be. You just want to be able to sit nice and grounded. Let's take a loop of the shoulders, rest our hands on our thighs, and then close our eyes. Try and feel equal weight in right and left sit bone. And then start to draw your spine tall. So from the tailbone, almost like you could create a little bit of space between each of your vertebrae. Draw the crown of the head up. Try and bring your top row of teeth parallel to the floor. And then move your shoulders slightly back and a little out to the side. So you're really broadening from the midline. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a sigh out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. And last one here, deep breath in through the nose. And sigh out through the mouth. Nice. Just come into your natural rhythm without altering the breath. Just kind of let it flow in and out. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can do so now. If you don't have a specific kind of theme or intention that you're working with at the moment, perhaps it's simply to be present. All right. And then let's open the eyes. Moving a little around the neck first. You're just going to look over your right shoulder. So just feeling your natural range of motion here as the skull kind of swivels on that axis atlas joint from the neck to the skull, back through to center and over to the other sides. As you do this, you should be able to feel where the neck connects to the top of the shoulders. So particularly this area is where we carry quite a lot of tension, and the area where the neck meets the skull. Come back to center. A little tick-tock with the ears, so right ear down to right shoulder. Deep full breaths. Encouraging this left shoulder and your right shoulder to not creep up to the ears, just to relax down. Let's bring the head up and over to the other side. So even though we're holding the poses, it doesn't always have to be completely static. You can always bring a little bit of movement. These micro movements sometimes help us to get into our shapes just a little more, just kind of feel into those areas a little deeper. Nice, and then come all the way up. We're going to roll the head a little side to side. So let's allow our chin to lower down to our chest. And then almost like a half circle, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Draw the chin up and away from the throat. And chin back down through center over to the left. Let's do 2 more to each side. Maybe the eyes are closed, as you just really indulge in releasing the body. And so you've set this time aside for yourself. Make the most of it. All right, make sure you've done equal amounts to both sides. And when the chest comes to the chin comes to the chest again, draw the head up. For a moment, lift the chin and just open up through the throat. Full deep inhale, full deep exhale, and then draw the face to look forward again. Let's take our hands behind us, fingertips facing forward, reverse tabletop, bring your feet out in front of you, parallel to one another, press into your feet, raise your hips, and then feel the opening in the shoulders. Activate through glutes, fingers are spread. One more breath. Nice. Lower back down and change the cross of the legs. Again, adjust on your cushion as you must. Let's reach both arms up. Take a nice breath in. And then take your right fingertips to the floor, maybe your right palm to the floor. Press firmly into your left sit bone. Relax your right ear to your right shoulder. And we'll just move some simple circles with the top arm. So start to draw it even further to the right. Let it lower down in front of you. And just feel that whole shoulder joint and into the neck. Take it round and back behind you. Move the shoulder blade around. And then two more like that. Pulling up and over. All the way around. Deepening your breath. Stretching the skin across your muscles and bones. Nice. And then bring that arm all the way back up. Keep your right ear nice and heavy. Flip your left palm up to the ceiling and drag that left hand away from you until your left wrist is in line with your left shoulder. And then we'll just stay here for a few breaths. So here you can move, again, these really gentle, easy movements of the skull and the neck. You could move that left arm back behind you a little more. Maybe back forward. Just explore this left side of the neck and the top of the left shoulder. One or two more breaths here. And then let's pause with the left wrist in line with the shoulder again. Keep the head heavy to your right side. Start to lower your left hand until it comes down to the floor and you draw yourself back up to center. Let's take that to the other side. So both arms up. Let's reach left fingertips or left palm. And see how I press down into my hand to really encourage my right sit bone to ground. I'm going to reach my top arm up and over, and I'm going to relax and just kind of let my head soften down. Move your left shoulder down away from your ear, so I'm not locking out into this elbow and kind of resting my head here. This elbow is soft and bent, and that allows my head, my neck to have a lot of space. Let's move those 3 full circles. So really slow movements. And so when we move slowly and our breath is nice and long, it gives us a lot of time. It gives us time to really observe ourselves, observe our bodies, observe our minds, our thoughts, our emotions. Nice. Keep going. Make sure you've done all 3 rounds. Top arm to reach up and over. Keep the head heavy to the left, right sit bone grounded. So what I mean by right sit bone grounded is that at any time you should be able to kind of lift this left hand up without completely toppling over. Okay, right palm to flip up. Take it up and to the side in line with your right shoulder. And soften the chin, soften the head. And then again here, you'll just move around really intuitively to release through the top of that right shoulder, to release through the neck. Again, we'll take a few full breaths here. So move as you need, super slowly. And then we'll come back up as you lower your right hand and draw the crown of the head up. Again, reverse tabletop, fingertips to face forward, feet out to the side, press into your feet, activate the glutes, and take a stretch through the shoulders here. So my legs are really just holding me so I can keep my pelvis lifted and I can raise my chest. Let's take 2 more breaths. Nice, and sit the buttocks back down. So here you can actually just move as you need to. We're going to come onto tabletop position on the long side of our mat. So you can place your cushion to the side. Bring your wrists under your shoulders, spread through your palms and your fingers. Bring your knees under your hips, hip distance apart. Moving through cat-cow, we're really going to focus on this kind of flossing feeling between the shoulder blades and then getting this nice kind of movement through the pelvis and obviously through the spine. So we'll start with our inhale. You can keep the tops of your feet on the floor. Where you're going to lift your sit bones, kind of draw your chest through your arms, curl your ears back, extend the spine. And then a rounding exhale, draw navel to spine, tuck your tailbone, spread through the upper back and tuck your chin. 4 more like that. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, move through your shoulders. And exhale, round. 2 more. And last one here. All right. Coming to a neutral spine. Let's take a child's pose with our knees nice and wide. So bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees a little wider. If your ankles are feeling quite tight at the top, I would place a cushion underneath your shins. If your knees are feeling a little tight, I would place a cushion between the buttocks and the heels, right? So you want to be able to have nice support. Reach your arms forward, plant your palms, but keep your elbows off the mat, and soften your head down towards the floor. Lengthening through side body. Take another breath or 2 here. All right, then press into your hands so you can lift your head, look forward, and come all the way right onto your fingertips. So now I'm trying to roll my outer shoulders down. I'm going to lift myself a little higher. I'm going to walk all the way as far as I can to the left without lifting my right buttocks. And then soften here. Allow your right shoulder to lower down. Allow your head to soften down. And then you're focusing on kind of drawing that right hip back. Feel the stretch from that right hip, right rib cage, right armpit, outer right shoulder. 3 full breaths. Okay. Bring yourself up. Simply walk all the way over to your right as far as you can. Reach that left arm forward, reach your right arm forward, roll your left shoulder level to your right, tuck your chin, and then get that opening along left side body. Make your left buttocks, your left hip heavy, pull it slightly back, and then get this arching over to the right. Press into the pinky side of your left hand. Soften your head. Take 3 full breaths. All right. Nice. Bring yourself all the way back through to center. Come down into your child's pose for a moment. Spread your palms. Hand shoulder distance. And then keep everything where it is, but come up onto your knees. Keep your knees in the alignment that they are in the distance from your hands, but just bring them hip distance. Separate your feet. Tuck your toes, and we're going to take a downward dog. So for your downward dog, you want your hands at least as wide as your shoulders, a gap between each of your fingers, and your fingerprints pressing firmly into your mat. Lift your hips, roll your outer shoulders down so the eyes of the elbows are pointing to the opposite corners of the mat. And then sink your heart down between your arms. So biceps are next to the ears. Draw your lower belly in, draw your rib cage in, and send your sit bones high. Deepen your breath. Let's get a bit into our back line now. So press a little firmer into your left hand and start to straighten out your right leg. So just go as far as you can, but perhaps you can get that right heel to ground all the way down. And so to open the back of my right leg, I have to firm the front of it. So I'm firming around right kneecap, right thigh. Not holding my breath. One more breath here. And let's switch. Bend right knee. Extend left leg. So now I'm pressing firmly, it's that diagonal line. I'm pressing into my right hand, firming the front of my left leg. Head and neck is soft. Take one more full breath. Good job, everyone. Bend both knees. Look forward, little core connection. You're going to start to walk your feet forward. So you might come almost like halfway to your hands and realize, ooh, okay, I'm a bit stuck there. Then you just come up onto your fingertips and walk yourself and walk yourself. Bend your knees as much as you need to move to the top of your mat. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Let's take a halfway lift. So take your hands to your shins. Look forward and start to lengthen your spine forward. So now I'm moving into this like tabletop position. I'm drawing my lower belly in. I'm pressing firmly. I'm not kind of resting on myself. I'm pressing firmly. My shoulder blades are sliding down my back, and my neck is moving out from my shoulders. Nice. Let's release down into a forward fold. So here, you can hold onto your opposite elbow with your opposite hands. Tuck your chin and let your head completely release down. And you can just take a little sway side to side. Okay, so inversions, obviously super beneficial, but can also be quite intense. So at any time, if you're upside down, you feel dizzy or nauseous or it just feels too much, right? That's your body indicating that you need to come out of it. So then you'll just maybe come out for a moment and maybe move back in. Or perhaps today, you're kind of not in the space to be inverted. But if you're loving it, we'll just kind of hang out here for a few more breaths. While we're here, have a look at your feet. And then lift and spread all 10 toes. So none of my toes are touching the floor. And I've got a gap between each of my toes. See if you can spread your feet like that. Notice how the arches of the feet lift and how the balls and the heels of the feet press down. Now, can you keep that activation in your feet, but slowly allow your toes back down? So our toes really are our little balances. Nice. Let's move through some spinal rolls. So release your hands. Bend your knees a lot so that you feel your glutes activate. So like a little chair pose. Suck your lower belly inwards. Keep your head and your arms heavy. And imagine your vertebrae are little Lego pieces. And you're going to stack them one on top of each other as we roll up. So press down into your feet and start from the bottom super slow. Super slow. Lower back stacks, middle back stacks, upper back stacks. Remember when we looped our shoulders in the beginning of class? Take them up, back, and down, as well as side to side. Let's take a reach up, full breath in. And then I'll just change direction. You can stay as you are. Take a little bend in your knees. Take a side stretch to your right. Back to center. Take a side stretch to your left. Back to center. And then take a forward fold. Tuck your chin to complete that movement. Bring your hands to your shins. Halfway lift, look forward. Maybe you straighten out your legs a little more. And then forward fold, bend your knees, tuck your chin. Press firmly into your feet. Roll your spine up as you stack your vertebra. And then loop the shoulders. Let's bring our hands in front of our chest, interlace your fingers, flip your palms, bend your knees a lot. Tuck your tailbone forward. Press into the backs of your hands. Open the bottoms of the wrists. And really round again, biceps next to ears. Let's take a full breath. Puff into the sides of the lungs and the back of the lungs. All the way up, straight legs, straight arms. Look up. Have a look at your hands so you can notice which finger is in front or on top. Split the hands, bring them behind you. Take that same interlace and then start to roll your shoulder caps back. So for a lot of us, this is where you're going to stay. Okay? You're just going to work on changing this shape to this shape. Okay? For those who are a little more open, you'll start to play with extending the arms. And then, if you can, maybe taking the hands away from the buttocks. Okay? But again, there's no competition here. You're just trying to nourish the body, give it space. Watch that you're not locking out your legs. So you can take a slight micro bend in the knees. Awesome. Then let's all soften. Reach both arms up. Bend your knees and take a forward fold. Tuck your chin. Halfway lift, press your hands to your shins. Take your sit bones back, look forward. And again, fold forward, bend your knees. Tuck your tailbone, press into your feet and start to roll the upper back all the way up. And again, loop your shoulders. Bring your hands in front of your chest and again interlace them. Bend the knees, flip your palms away, and then reach them forward. But this time, you're going to go a little across to your left. So pull, again, a little bit into the side body on the right. Pull your right hip back. Come through center. Go over to the left. Pull your left hip back. Come back to center. Press into your feet. Stretch the body. Stretch the arms. Have a look at your hands. Hopefully you took that second interlace. Split the hands and bring them behind you. All right. So now changing this up a little bit. Again, you'll roll the shoulders back. But then I'd like you to bring your hands onto your left hip. So both hands kind of go over to my left. Strong straight legs without locking out the knees. And then you're going to allow your chin down to your chest. And so from here, just rolling left ear to left shoulder. And so you're bringing this right hand behind the back, and hopefully you can get quite a nice feeling in the right side. Let's take 2 more breaths. Let's roll our chin down to center. Take it over to the right. And chin back down. Crown of the head up. Release your hands behind you. Bring them onto your right hip. Chin to chest. And roll right ear to right shoulder. And so again here, we'll just take a few breaths. A nice little squeeze into the armpit now. I'm softening. I'm trying not to hold any tension anywhere. Let's take 1 more breath. So you should still be facing this direction. Chin to chest. And take left ear to left shoulder. Chin back to center. Crown of the head up. Hands back. Hands release. Draw them up. Forward fold. And tuck your chin. Halfway lift. Place your hands down, step back into a downward dog. Take a nice little stretch here, a little kind of bend and stretch into the legs. Nice. And then we're going to come to sit in a cross-legged position. So if you can, look forward, bring your right knee behind your right wrist, left knee behind your left wrist, rock back, come to sit on your buttocks, bring your feet out in front of you. Slowly roll your spine down. You can hold onto your legs. Bring the head down and draw your knees to chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze. We take a simple twist. So take your arms out into like a stop sign shape or like this cactus shape. And then just allow the knees to fall over to the left. You could look over to the right. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Core connect to come back to center. And knees to your right. You could look over to the left. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. Core connect. Come back to center. Bring your hands around your shins so you give yourself a nice little squeeze, hug and around. And then take a full body stretch, feet forward, arms back. And then we'll move into our Shavasana. So if you like, you could, if your cushion's maybe a bit bigger, you could have your cushion kind of underneath your thighs with your feet falling out. You could have your cushion under the sacrum, perhaps. It's nice to experiment with a cushion. Quite nice to just have it behind your head. Take your arms out to the side, palms face up. Again, take a full breath in. A full breath out. Completely relax the body. And completely relax the face, the jaw, the shoulders. Keep the mind quiet, so stay present. The last few moments just to indulge in your body, in your practice. All right, let's just take a last few breaths here. And start to move your fingers and your toes, your wrists, your ankles, your arms, your legs until you're in a nice full body stretch. And then bend your knees, press your feet into the floor, raise your hips for a moment, and then ground them back down. Bring your knees to your chest. Bring your hands to your knees. And coming up to sit, let's roll over onto our left side. First into your right hand and gently bring yourself up. Cross-legged, bringing hands together. Close your eyes. Acknowledge what you feel like now compared to the beginning of practice. Thank yourself for your commitment to your practice, for your dedication, for showing up for yourself. I show gratitude to our bodies. I show gratitude to the practice. I thank you all for joining in this session. Thank you, everyone. Happy end to your Tuesday, I hope. You can have a nice, relaxed evening now. Let me know how that felt in your bodies, all the newbies who joined. And then, of course, is that your first, second, or third session for the week? I'd love to know. So lovely being here always. And yeah, I hope that if this is a session that you really enjoyed, schedule it into your calendar twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's not a lot of time. It's not a sacrifice. It's a gift that you give yourself. So if you can, these 30 minutes to end of your day, how magical. If you so for me, a practice before bed or practice in the evening really helps me to sleep better. So maybe experiment with that tonight to notice if anything shifted in your energetics, if you're able to sleep a little better. Thank you everyone for joining. Madeline, such a pleasure. Sandra, Rob, always lovely to have you. Thank you, Angela, for joining. Bev, are all your classes shorter? Yes, all the classes are shorter. All the classes are 30 minutes for the moment. I mean, Bev, you've been here from the beginning, I think. You've kind of seen how the structure of the schedule has changed and evolved and gone. So just kind of stick with us. We're trying to see what works the best for everyone. And what I've suggested is that if the 30 minutes feels too short, then do a double. So for instance, today I taught twice. And yes, there'll be repetition of movements, but repetition of movements is good. So then you could do an hour practice. You could do half an hour this morning and half an hour this evening. And that's quite a nice way to get a longer practice in. Such a pleasure, everyone. Anna, loved this class tonight. I still struggle with the basics, but I won't give up. Amazing, Anna. I mean, it's, sorry, Anne. I think a lot of the time, our bodies just don't understand it yet. So our minds understand it and we see it. And there's this notion of like, oh, I'm so bad at yoga, or oh, I'm so bad at this, or I can't do this, or whatever, And I love the analogy of if you look at flowers, right, in the spring, and you've got a field full of flowers that are all like kind of open and beautiful, and you got this one little flower that's not open yet. You don't say, oh, you're a bad flower at flowering. That flower just is where it is. It's a natural state of being. So don't rush it. Don't rush your practice. Don't rush yourself. Again, guys, like I say with these sessions, there aren't the goals like in the hits. It's not the calories, the kilograms, the whatever. There's nothing you can check off in yoga, really. There's some poses I've been doing for years, and then I try and do it and I can't do it because on that day I'm not in line to do it. So just keep going, and well done for showing up. Well done for being here. Continue to do these classes. Like I was saying in my chat today, it has to be consistent. You have to consistently make the choice to show up for yourself. And only by doing that do you really start to see true transformation. Excuse me, I'm talking so much, my throat is dry. Sundine, I love being upside down. I love that smiley. That's amazing. Sundine, you always come for the best things. I'm definitely going to use that. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I think I'm in love. Thank you. I also love being upside down. Vanessa Lee, love this. Amazing. Thank you for joining. Please join in on Thursday again, same time. And just, guys, twice a week really is the bare minimum that you need to be doing these sessions. Teresa, great, beginning to feel more open. Fantastic. Fantastic, guys. You will start to see the difference in your bodies, right? Danielle, such a pleasure. Everyone, Marita, Sharon, see you on Thursday. Thank you for joining. Greg, gonna do the session now. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Janine, amazing as always. Third for the week. Star eyes, amazing, 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 Janine. Keep it up. Again, coming back, if you guys didn't watch the talk this afternoon, it's so amazing when things stop becoming a choice, because it just is, right? I don't have to gather the energy to make the choice to get on my mat, because I know that if I don't get on my mat, I'm going to be, worse for it. Delarice, feeling relaxed. I'm so glad. Such a pleasure, everyone. Mandy, Lizette, we'll try your advice for a double. Yes, I mean, you can do 6 classes in a row if you want to. Sometimes in our trainings, we do 6-hour practices. And to be honest, that's really where the magic happens. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. I'm wishing you a beautiful evening further. I will be back for session number 1, 2, 3, 4 for the week tomorrow. So I hope to see you guys there. And I hope to see some 4 out of 5s already, at least some 3 out of 5s, minimum 2 out of 5s. But I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Sagi says, bought a yoga book, but it's nice to have an instructor. Yes, it is. I mean, there are many different ways to learn. We learn on an audible level. We learn by reading. We learn, so in so many ways by being taught by someone. But we learn, we only absorb the knowledge by putting it into work, right? So by really embodying that knowledge. So I hope you're doing the practice as well as just not as well as listening and reading. Of course, knowledge really sits in our head, and wisdom sits in our bodies. So that's kind of like the connection that you start to make when you really live the practice, on and off the mat. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Otherwise, I'll chat to you forever. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Catch you all 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Yeah, keep warm, keep safe. Ciao. Bye.